everybody. Welcome to another edition of Calling All Devs, our weekly Q&A series where I take questions from you, the star citizen backer, and post them directly to the developer, usually over Skype. I am in Wilmslow, United Kingdom here. I am sequestered on the second floor. The second floor is currently under renovation as Foundry 42 UK continues to expand and add more developers to the cause. Aaron was kind enough to greet me when I got here and show me to this sequestered put-away floor where I wouldn't infect anybody in the weeks leading up to CitizenCon. Starting the show off right, we are going to Eddie Hilditch from the Environment team. I got a big one for you. Eddie, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm good, Jared. How are you? Well, apart from being sick and above me, basically.
Last time we did this, you were sick, and I was all right. Now I'm sick.
Hopefully sounding a bit better today.
Yeah, well, I've got a plethora of things going. Oh, I just dropped. All right, I'll clean that up. All right, just to get right to it. This is a big question. And this is where I'm going to preface that these questions are submitted by backers and they're voted on by backers. That doesn't always mean that we have an answer ready for you. Sometimes the answer is we don't have an answer. So that's my preface before we get to this question.
Yep.
Your question today, Eddie, is how are we going to make Earth work and look correct with planets at only a quarter of the scale? For instance, how will mountains look right with sea level without looking wildly oversized in relation to planets and stuff like that? There's construction going on.
There is construction going in. Yes.
We persevere.
Can we go? We'll plow through, right?
Plow through, man. What do you got?
Okay. So, yeah, I got this question. I was like, it's a very good question. It's a very big question. I think it goes beyond just sort of scale, obviously, with something like Earth. Earth is a planet that everyone is familiar with.
Mostly.
Hopefully. So doing a planet as complicated as Earth, in terms of the amount of biomes and the amount of variety within a single planet, we can't do with our tech right now. There's too many different variables in one planet. If we go from like the deserts of the Sahara to Antarctica to vast urban landscapes to sort of fields and farms, like jungles. If we think about the flora, we think about the variety of biomes, we think about the urbanization of Earth and the sort of human-made infrastructure on top, we think about the number of animals, think about the flora. Like, there's a huge amount of things that could keep us going for a very long time. So we are not where we need to be to create something as complex as Earth with the tech yet. That being said, every improvement we make to the tech gets us closer to that. And it's about, at some point, being able to have the tech to be able to do something as complex as Earth, do it justice, right?
Right. I think it's safe to say that every moon that we work on, every planet that we introduce, and all the new biomes that are created for each and every one, Hurston is adding oceans, for instance. Each of those that we do is another step closer to the tech that we'll need to make Earth a reality in the Star Citizen universe. Exactly,
and Hurston's also where we're sort of making our first tentative steps towards huge cities integrated onto the planet's surface and things like that. Yeah, exactly. Everything we do adds complexity and diversity to the planets. If we take Hurston where it is now, it's much more than, say, the current moons are, in terms of variety of things that you will see on the surface, and it's also a much bigger planet than the current moons. So we are getting there. We are not where we need to be yet to be able to do something that is a sort of a step more complex than somewhere like Hurston. But that is the dream for sure, and it's something we are working towards. The best answer I can give at the moment is that we don't know yet, but we are working towards it.
Absolutely. That's it, man. I don't got anything to add. You did perfect.
Thank you.
I'll let you get back to
it. That was a good question. It was a hell of a question.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that comes up. It's always.
Yeah, well, it's something we've discussed. It's something we talk about a lot, and yeah, it's an end goal at the moment, but absolutely. A distant planet. Let's say that.
Fair enough. The one that we're the closest to us is the most far away.
Yeah.
There's some philosophical meaning in that, probably, or that might just be the cold meds. All right, man. I'll let you get back to work. Thanks.
Take care, Jared. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, thank you so much, Eddie. Moving right along down the hall to our own Johnny DeCivius, designer, no stranger to calling all devs. Johnny, how you doing, man?
I'm great, Jared. How are you?
I'm sick, man. That's how rude is that to ask? You
I
know
know.
I'm not feeling well, man.
Enjoying the British summer.
Yeah. Well, enjoying the this is the aftermath of 4 consecutive Bar Citizen events at Gamescom, where you're shaking everybody's
I
hands and
explained to them. Yeah.
taking pictures. This happens every year. I will admit it doesn't usually last this long. We've got 2 questions for you this time, voted on by the backers. I'm going to start with one that we've talked about before, but that's the virtue of this process. Because the backers get to submit questions and you guys get to vote on which questions get addressed every month, the fact that this question got voted up again means there's enough new citizens out there who are still curious about this answer, or existing citizens who weren't happy with the answer. Whichever one you might be. We're going to do it again. What are your current plans for non-lethal weaponry? Things like tasers and tranquilizer rifles specifically.
Okay, so there are probably 2 sides to non-lethal weaponry at the moment, or at least that we've got planned. We've got things that still do damage, like to systems, so like distortion weaponry and all that good stuff. So we've got some examples of that game in the game at the moment on the ships. So we've got like those distortion scatterguns that are in live at the moment, so they take down shields, disable ship systems. We've also got the little EMP burst things. So yeah, we've got examples of that. We want to bring that over to the FPS at some point, the FPS game side of the game at some point as well. So when we kind of get more robust systems in the suits and everything, we want obviously that to kind of tie in the same way it does with ships, so you can turn people's like visors off and kind of all of the important information that they want to view. So that's a kind of an I guess we would call a non-lethal way of disrupting someone's gameplay. And then the other side, like you've mentioned, tasers and tranquilizer rifles, we don't necessarily have plans to do those very specific things, but we know bounty hunting is something that we are going to want to do down the line, so we are going to need weaponry that enables you to do that without killing people. So we've quite robustly built out our active status system, which allows us to tap into that constantly. I mean, you've seen people passing out from lack of oxygen. That's just an example of one of the things that we do with the active status system. So it's not completely out of the question that we would have tranquilizers or tasers that can knock people out. And yeah, even the tranquilizer rifles, we even have consumables. So our med pen at the moment is a consumable, and you can put, down the line we can foresee you putting all sorts of things in something like that to give you different effects. So yeah, our options are very open. So yeah.
All right, that was a pretty good job. I got nothing to add to that. Next question. This one's a little more interesting than the last one, I think. What are the current thoughts on adding navigation to ground-based gameplay? Things like compasses or mini-maps or long grid coordinates that you'll find in lots of other terrestrial-based FPS games.
So, yeah, this is something we've not fully locked down yet. We've talked briefly, but yeah, our priorities lie kind of more on focusing on the core gameplay, the FPS movement and all of the weapon handling and everything. So we kind of want to get those core mechanics down and locked into a point where we're super happy with them. So this is kind of one of those systems that is not so much on the back burner, but it's on the list of things to talk about. So we're quite open to what we can do here. We can have a completely separate gadget for helping you navigate your way around planets, because my God, like, our planets are huge. Yeah. You're really going to need something to help you out there. So yeah, you could use a separate gadget. We could integrate something into the Mobiglass. We could even integrate something into your tactical visor and your scanner. So our options are basically endless here. So we just kind of need to talk further down the line and lock down and kind of hone in on what we want to do there.
There's definitely going to be something. We're not going to just leave players out in the cold without simple functionality that exists today on my phone. I can bring Google Maps up on my phone right now. So we know it's something that we need. It's something that's definitely going to make its way into the game. It's just the manner in which it manifests is still open to discussion and debate.
Yep, exactly.
All right, man. That's it. That's all I got for you. I'll let you get back to work.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Take it easy, man. Bye. All right. Thank you so much, Johnny DeCivius. And now, last but certainly not least, boy, the sun is coming through here now. I thought they told me England was cloudy. We are going to John Crew, Vehicle Pipeline Director. John, how you doing, man?
Good, thanks. I'm enjoying one day of summer.
What is this? It's like it started coming on in the middle of Johnny's call, and it was like, wow. All
It's
right.
going to be rainy in a second,
Well,
so
maybe I need whatever vitamin is in sun to get over this thing. I don't know what vitamins are in sun. All right, I got a question for you. It's a flip on a common question we get about ship customization. This person wants to know, and so does everybody who voted for the question: will there be deeper customization of player ships' interiors, other than just the dashboard style decorations and hangar flare stuff that we've talked about? Like the trophies that are available now, or one of the stretch goals was bobbleheads. Will we see things like alternate wall, roof, or floor panels, interior color schemes, furnitures, other decorations, maybe changes to interior lights? How about our own smoke and dirt and wear?
okay, that's a very long multi-part question. That's not a single question. So to talk about interior customization, we sort of have to touch on exterior customization. So we've talked about how you'll be able to do like multiple colors. So we'll provide the ship in its default state, and you'll be able to customize a couple of colors or a couple of areas with colors on it to do it how you want. So that includes the glass. So the glass will naturally impact the inside. We can do that on the exterior to an extent because it's just one material, but the interiors of the ships are made of multiple materials, so it becomes technically a lot harder to do. Not saying that we're never going to do it, it's not on our initial plans for doing it. So stage one will be exterior customization and getting your name on the ship and changing the numbers on the ship, all the stuff like that. Interior wise, there's lights as well, so we're not planning on letting people customize every single light's color, purely because they are again tied to the interior materials, and they're done together to create the final effect. But what we do want to do is let people choose the different light states. So at the moment, I'm going to cough in a minute, I think. There's multiple light states that systemically happen. So you've got auxiliary when the ship's spawned but not turned on. You've got your normal power. You've got your emergency. Those react to game states at the moment, but we want to essentially have a controller or a light state or a light switch that you can go, oh, I've jumped into a dangerous area. I'm going to turn the emergency lighting on. And now everyone in the ship knows that it's a dangerous bit. And because you're not getting the emergency VFX, so at the moment emergency VFX and lighting come on together, so the two, you wouldn't want to turn that VFX on all the time.
Right.
But having the red warning lights on gives you that state. So we're going to provide base states and let you choose what light state you want your ship in.
Red alert, yellow alert.
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
yeah, that sort of stuff. Dirt and wear. So at the moment,
Those are two different things.
they're two different things. So dirt is cosmetic, essentially. You can have a 0% dirty ship and a 100% dirty ship. There's no gameplay consequence. It's just visual. That's set at a predefined level that doesn't change currently. Wear is what degrades the functionality of the items and the ship's performance. Obviously, that does impact gameplay. And to reverse that, you need to repair your ship. Wear is something we have on items at the moment, but we don't have it on ships. And dirt is something that isn't driven by anything in game at the moment. That's why all the ships look a certain way. They stay that way till the end of time. When they get hooked up to their systems, everything will start pristine or clean, 100%, or 0% dirt, 0% wear. And those two values can be completely independently changed. You could have a 100% dirty, 0% worn ship, or vice versa. You could have a 100% worn ship, but it looks clean, but under the skin it's completely worn out. And that's really up to you, like where you want to leave it at, dirt-wise and wear-wise. Is there anything else? I feel like
the
there's
final
one.
part was furniture.
Furniture,
like
yeah.
being able to change the sheets on the bed in the Phoenix or something like that.
Right, stuff like that. We do plan on allowing customization of certain aspects of the ship, like the Phoenix has a conference table, but also there was a piano option and stuff in like the 890 where we perhaps going to have a certain set of tables and chairs, but you may not want that set, so we might provide an alternative set that's a different luxurious styling. There's different ways to skin a cat in terms of luxury styling, and down the line we'll provide options, and that extends to like bed sheets. I know everyone loves the Starfarer's Captain bed sheet with all the cartoony space stuff on it, and there's no reason to not let people equip their beds how they want.
Yeah, that's about it. So basically, let you set your own light states, but maybe not necessarily tweak the color tints and everything. Some minor furniture customization options somewhere down the road. Being able to affect your own dirt levels, certainly by cleaning your ship, not cleaning your ship. Whereas something systemic, entirely separate from that. And yeah, as far as internal paint stuff, a little more difficult than doing the exterior, but not something we're going to rule out, while not something that we have currently in the plans.
The exterior stuff is...
The exterior stuff is in the plans.
Yeah, the exterior stuff is where we see like most people investing their time in customizing their ship, because you see it in third person up close, other people see it up close, so that's where the big returns are on you spending the time making garish color schemes for your ships.
All right, man. Well, yeah, I think that's it. I'm sorry I came all the way to UK and we can't do this like in person one-on-one. But they've locked me in a floor all by myself. Yes, quarantine. There's the word for it.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll let you go. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that about wraps up this week's show. Special thanks to Eddie Hilditch and Johnny Jasivius and John Crew for taking the time to be here on the show with us this week. I came all the way to UK, but I'm here in this blinding sunbox. They told me the UK was cloudy. Remember, you can submit your questions for consideration each and every week up in the thread, up on Spectrum. And don't forget to vote. That's the two-pronged plan. You got to submit your questions, you got to vote on your questions. Then I do my best to take those questions and pair them with the developer and find an answer that's as current and accurate as possible, even if it doesn't have all the answers you're looking for in any given week. We do our best. This is game development. So for Calling All Devs, I'm Content Manager for Global Video Production, Jared Huckabee. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Thanks for watching. For the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42, you can subscribe to our channel, or you can check out some of the other shows, and you can also head to our website at www.robertsspaceindustries.com. Thank you very much for watching.